Welcome to the Good Rookie Show. My name's Faheem.
And my name is Nelly J, y'all. And we are good rookie.
That's right.
What's going on, everybody? Happy Good Tuesday. And guess what? It's the Good Rookie Show.
Yep, yep.
Yep. What's going on? As y'all know, we're coming live and direct from Toronto, Canada, the 6th. Heller. And we're so excited to speak to you all again. Love the interaction. Faheem, I got to big up someone on YouTube because, I made a boo boo. And with my boo boo, he called me out. And I said, I told him, yo, bro, I got to big you up. So shout out to Booze Man. Okay. Big up to Booze Man on YouTube, okay? Because I actually made a comment about LeBron going to the playoffs his first year. Nope. Booze Man said, it took him 3 years. You're correct. Carmelo-Anthony Faheem was the only rookie that year to take his team to the playoffs the first year. So I told him I got to give him a big shout out, for kind of, making us honest on this podcast, Faheem. So big up to him. But yeah,
Nice.
Faheem. Yeah, big up to Booze Man. So Faheem, what we got going on this week, brother?
So yeah, shout out to Boozman, keeping us honest. Definitely. Um, there's been some rule changes. I just want to run a few by you real quickly. This is nothing's official, but the NBA is kind of flirting with or just kind of discussing some things that I think universally we can all agree that this something might be good.
Wow.
First one is they're considering awarding teams a second and final challenge if the first challenge is successful. So how it is now, you have your challenge, and once you use your challenge, it's done. Whether you win the challenge or you lose the challenge. Now they're thinking about rewarding people for winning the challenge, which I think is thumbs up. I thought that should have been from the get go. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, man. No, that's a good challenge. You know what? I don't remember this, Fahim, but on Clubhouse, I don't know if you remember when I mentioned like, oh, during the playoffs, probably not. I probably said it on Women's Watching Sports Live. Big up to those ladies and the men who come and support us. Um, I mentioned like, yo, if you make a challenge and it's correct in the first half, then why is that challenge taken away? Because like that means that, hey, ref, I'm doing your job for you, sir. You weren't looking carefully enough. So I shouldn't being penalized for correcting your mistakes. You know what I'm saying? And I think in basketball, that's important, especially now looking at the postseason. Some of these calls have been bad. And especially, us seeing a lot of refs making mistakes, the referee association commenting on the play they missed on Tatum. Like, I just think that yeah, like I love it. I think it's something that needs to be done. And I'm happy that the NBA is like trying to improve the quality because that's how we improve it, right? We know refs aren't perfect and we're not here to bash the refs. However, if I'm a coach and I'm seeing something and you're incorrect, I shouldn't be penalized because I'm helping you out, brother. I'm helping to get you out, the game out, and the players out too, keeping both sides honest. So I think it's a great idea. So yeah, big up to
Mm-hmm.
that. If they get it done, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, and it also changed how coaches use I think those challenges because if something happens early in the game, it'll and coach maybe is very confident he can do it. How it is now is if he's confident, but he's saying, okay, you know what, I might not want to use this now because I might need it later. Now there might be a little bit more freedom where if he's confident that should be challenged, he'll use that challenge and knows that if he wins it, he'll actually be rewarded for it. I think that's a win-win. So you're spot on with that. There's a second one also for the NBA penalizing flops with a technical foul and a free throw in the game.
Yes, the dramatization. I
Uh,
talked about all the Embiids, the
right.
LeBrons, the ADs. I mean, the Hardens. Oh man, a lot of guys
Mhm.
flop. Guys, not only them, but a lot of players flop. Not I named a few that just come to my mind, but
Mhm.
yeah, a lot of players do flop, and I think again keeping the game honest because flopping can ruin the game. As a fan, seeing a guy like frail like so dramatically, like I get it if you're falling, like to break your fall, you kind of have to do that. Cause sometimes I know when I fall, I'm like all over the place. But sometimes people are flopping like just to get the foul. And that's, you know what I mean? Like you get your foul, but why are you flopping either? Because flopping can actually cause injury. If I flop, you know what I mean? And I grab someone's leg and something happens and they injure their leg, like flopping can actually cause more harm. So I think it should be a technical foul. You know what I mean? All of these types of rule changes are going to keep players honest and keep the game more competitive because as fans watching and seeing a flop, you're like, oh my, you roll your eyes like, really, bro? Was it really that hurtful? Did you really fall like that? You know what I mean? So it
Hmm.
just keeps everyone honest. And,
Hmm.
but Fahim, one rule change I want to see is I don't want to see another NBA player getting a technical foul for bouncing the ball hard. Because I
Hmm.
saw Tatum do it a couple times. I saw other stars do it for him and didn't get one tech for that. But Fred VanVleet and Raptor players have gotten technical fouls this year for bouncing the hard, but for bouncing the ball hard. Sorry. So I hope that type of technical foul. I'm hoping it's more policing or policy around a technical foul, what that looks like. Because me being frustrated or being upset that I'm being called a foul, that's my emotion. Let me be upset. I'm not cussing you, sir. I'm not mad at you. I'm not calling you a name. I'm not threatening you to your face. I'm just upset at myself and at what's going on. So I just think that they need to also kind of put some policies around technical fouls and what that should be. I get
Hmm.
it. If a ref feels threatened, I agree. But I'm boxing a ball, not even look at the ref and I'm calling, call the technical foul.
Yeah, it's
What?
ridiculous.
Come on, man.
All right. So with the penalizing the flops, that could be because when I hear that, and pretty you also, we think on the defensive end. But even on the offensive end, sometimes when guys are shooting 3-point shots, flaring out their legs to try and sell that. So I, I originally thought defense, but I'm wondering any type of flop or any type of sell of anything that's not legit.
Mm.
If I'm hoping that it's extended to the offensive side also, where guys are kicking out their legs trying to sell a 3-point shot, etc. Right?
But I thought that was already a foul for that. I thought that rule was
Mm.
added, the James Harden rule, right?
Yes.
So you
So
can't
that
do
okay.
that. So that
Right.
was added. But to your
Right.
point, kick out your legs sometimes they miss it. So if I'm falling or flopping or just falling on my shot on purpose, right? That could be considered a flop. You're correct because it can go both ways. I just think that's why they had that other rule. But yeah,
Hmm.
like we see some flops happen in that Knicks. I think the Josh Hart and which was Josh what other player? Josh Hart had that technical foul on him, I think, the Knicks series, where I
Hmm.
think he fell on someone's leg. I think it was a Heat player. I forgot who it was, but yeah, it can go either way. So yeah, it just
Hmm.
depends. But again,
Yeah.
these rules, if I'm a player, I'm like, damn it, I can get a technical foul for my team if I flop. Oh, maybe I'm not gonna flop as much. Yeah,
Right.
I'm all for it. I'm
Right.
all for it.
And one thing with the league, what I like is not only has it just been kind of leaked that they're thinking about making these moves, but they're not wasting any time. Apparently, these are things that are there. A trial is possible, it says here, as soon as summer league in July. So they're not wasting any
Wow.
time. They're saying, okay,
Let's
this is the
go.
problem. Let's do it. So shout out to the NBA, and hopefully they can get this done for sure. Because I think
Yeah.
these are rules that universally no one's gonna fight these these
No,
these upcoming
no.
rules. So
And I'm thinking too, like protecting players' injuries as well. People get
mhm.
injured from flopping or from falling on a flop and grabbing somebody. Like if I'm a tall guy and I flop, I think what wasn't it when Embiid kicked that guy in the groin, the Brooklyn guy? He put his leg up when he flopped. Remember that play in the Brooklyn
Mhm.
series,
Yeah.
right? He did the and that same leg got hurt. Karma, I don't know, but yeah, like that guy got like hurt in the groin. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
what are we doing? So flopping can lead to other situations that can cause more harm. And I think that the goal in the NBA should be to protect the player's health, keep them safe because we want them having long careers and not getting injured. So flopping can cause that. Kicking out can cause that.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm down with it.
Nice. All right. Well, I guess summer league, we'll keep an eye on it. But
Mm-hmm.
Nelly J, let's go to for the culture.
For the culture, we like to highlight individuals for the culture. And today we get to highlight a woman who's made history, Fahim, on one of the largest brands or recognized brands in the world. The Jordan brand has officially appointed their first ever, not just Black woman, but woman president ever, Sarah Mensah. Okay, so Fahim, Sarah Mensah, for those who don't know, phenomenal, right? She actually was originally appointed the first, well, she's the first to ever serve as president, but before that, she actually led the global company in growth. So she was actually a decade with this brand, right? And helped them, Nike Inc., and was the first woman to lead Michael Jordan Global Company in the first place. So she helped them from Nike and helped Michael Jordan brand grow as a company. And now she gets to be the president, Faheem. Um, I just think it's amazing. As both VP and GM of the 166 billion brand, which is the largest market. That is Faheem, like that's Nike's largest market, Faheem. And I just think it's amazing. To the U of Oregon alum as well. So big up to them. But I just think it's really great to see something like this where we talk about like, black ownership and athletes having their own brands. But the fact that now she was the VP and now she's the new president of that brand that she put over a decade's work in, Faheem. I mean, not only is she overly qualified, my goodness, she's paid her dues, Faheem. So big up to Sarah Mensah. Any thoughts on this, Faheem? What you got?
Yeah, shout out to Jordan Brand, first of all, for the move. I'm just looking, I just see it here because I was interested to see. I know of all the women leagues, the WNBA is closely tied with Jordan Brand.
Mm-hmm.
What I have here says there's 11 Black women that are part of Jordan Brand and growing. They could actually have grown since this article because since it was last year, but there's like it almost feels right because this is obviously it's one thing to do it on the field or on the court, but to extend that opportunity to the boardroom where you're making decisions, and also having her in that position, having that point of view can help the game and help not just in basketball, perhaps in other verticals also for other sports also. So I think it's amazing. Shout out Most Def.
Yeah. And I do want to give another shout out because, Sarah has put in a lot of work, Sarah Mensah. So one thing I didn't know, and big up to the boardroom dot TV for really breaking this down because these guys really shared a lot of the data and information behind who she was. Apparently, before working, she was working as a VP and COO of the Portland Trailblazers from 2009 to 2012 in footwear, and in an era in which the team's revenue grew 105%. So before her working in footwear, she was working for the Portland Trailblazers as a VP and COO and helped that team grow 105% revenue. Okay. So listen, she got skills. She got the skills depth. And Jordan Brand has been known to really help put people of color in place of leadership. So, this type of roadmap, seeing where she started from to where she is now, I think it's quite notable. I hope it's also encouraging to know that, hey, there's space for women of color and women in that industry, right? Because that's also been a strongly male-led industry for such a long time. So I just think it's really great. Now, Faheem, the last name Mensah, I was like, that last name Mensah, like I'm trying to figure out the origin of that last name. Do you
No,
know
no,
what it is?
yes, it's got to be Ghana. I mean, I don't know for sure, but Mensa is very much a West
That's what I
African, in particular
thought too.
Ghana. Yeah,
Like for sure African descent, but I wasn't sure like
yeah, I would go
um
100% Ghana.
yeah, I mean
I
the
mean,
great thing it's a Ghanaian surname and
right.
then and like it's very popular surname in Ghana.
All right,
So
100%.
yeah,
Yeah.
she must
Yeah.
have some type of Ghanaian
Hmm.
ancestry because Mensah is not a unique. That's a very like African last name. So I was like, what
Yeah.
origin is that? So big up to Faheem y'all for winning the where's my last name from uh trivia today. But no, big up to Mensa, big up
Mhm.
to Sarah. Love what she's doing. We're gonna keep following her career. And I know for sure Faheem, I bought myself, guys. So I've never purchased a Jordan shoe before. Yes, I know. I get it, guys. I know. Just didn't care to. I was like, whatever. I'm a Jordan girl, but buying a shoe, no. But Faheem, I purchased a Jordan shoe for the first time today, or sneakers, sorry, Jordan shoes,
Oh,
all
okay.
because of this promotion. I'm like, you know what?
Woo!
I'm gonna purchase this shoe. So I bought my first Jordans. Yes, guys, I'm part of the crew now. It took me how long?
Yeah,
But
part of the
I've only had like Air Max, I've had Air Force, everything but Jordan, right? I just wasn't trying to be like everybody else, but here I come. So Sarah
nice.
Mensah, because of your promotion, I got myself. a gift for myself. So thank you for the gift.
Nice,
Anyway,
nice.
big up to you, Sarah Mensah, and congrats on your new career. And also big up to Scott Randall. He's the one who actually shared the news for me. I'm like, oh, this is great. So big up to Scott for always, sharing some good information on great topics. So big up to Scott.
Nice.
Yeah.
And before we transition out of for the culture, a quick shout out to a Raptor. There was a Mensa that played for the Toronto Raptors before.
Mm,
Pops Mensa Bonsu
yes.
played about 15 years ago for the Raptors. And he's from Ghana, obviously, or British slash Ghana. But yeah,
Yes. Yes,
yes.
that's true. Look at for him has some memory, eh? That's a good
Uh,
one. That's a good
yeah,
throwback moment.
nice. So shout out.
Yeah.
Okay. On this note, let's end this off with that's absurd.
That's absurd. Fahim, bro, what was absurd this week? What was absurd?
This could be, depending on how you look at it, I'm going with the absurd. Stephen A. Smith,
Mm.
on his media career, he was quoted, and this is a quote: "I want to end my career being recognized as arguably the greatest television talent in history." End quote. Absurd?
Absurd. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So he wants to be regarded the what? The most talented and what? What on TV? What was it? What was all that you
The the
said?
greatest as the greatest television talent in history.
No. Wrong. Wrong. Where's that from? Wrong. What is that from? That's from somewhere. Um, Listen, Stephen A. Smith. Okay. You're the best antic man of antics. I'll say that Stephen A. Smith, the weed, and his antics are hilarious. I think he's the best antic. But the best TV talent, bro. The most TV talent has happened. There's comedians. There's like, I mean, the whole cast of A Living Color is better than you, bro. Like, I don't know where to start for him. Like, there's so much talent on TV, Stephen A. Smith. You're not even top 50 for me of TV talent. But I will give you this. You're consistently wrong in a lot of takes, but there are moments where you do have moments of clarity and you make sense. There's moments where I feel like you say things that aren't really for, that really for the culture. So, I mean, I don't know. Like, at least you're yourself and it's your opinions and you're being yourself. I'll never knock people for him for saying what they feel or how they believe, and that's fine. Because Stephen A. Smith was anti-Toronto Raptors during that run. For remember, he was like, "I never want to see another team in Canada win a championship." Like, he was so dramatic for him. So, I mean, you think that deserves the best TV talent ever? Man, that's rough for him. But hey,
Yeah.
I mean, you should love yourself more than everyone else do, right? So I
Well,
gotta give him that.
so
He's like,
there's nothing wrong with setting a high bar for yourself, So if that's his goal, well, we just shoot down people's dreams, right? But
exactly.
if it was like if he said, "I want to be the greatest sports talent on ESPN," not so absurd, maybe. I
Yes.
mean, he's doing, but greatest talent in television. Oof, I mean,
History.
history.
Woo! TV has pull up. Why for him? And that's the thing, right? It's like, like yes, love yourself, but it's like, someone right now saying like, oh, Caleb Martin is the best, wants to be the best NBA player of all time. Come on, Caleb, you're good, but come on, like you're not going to be the best basketball player ever. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, now I'm not calling Stephen A the Caleb Martin of NBA. I'm just saying, like, it's like we got to get this right, Stephen A. Smith. You know what I mean? You are definitely someone, I think, is the highest paid, right? But the TV was invented in the 1920s. It's been 100 years of TV for Stephen A. Smith, and you believe that you're the weed and all the stuff you do means that you're the best TV talent for just commenting and giving your thoughts on things and being typically half wrong. Okay, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, how about you beat JJ Redick in an argument before you try to,
Ooh, shots fired.
how
Shots
about you beat
fired.
JJ in an argument? How about you figure out how to debate that guy and consistently win and overcome that versus Just wrong focus, Stephen A. Wrong focus. That's all I gotta say. But no, Stephen A is cool, man. Listen, I'm not issue with Stephen A. Smith. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Your
Yeah.
focus got to be somewhere else, brother.
Wow,
Somewhere
that
else.
that that JJ card, that was hard. That was hard.
Voila. Voila.
All right. Nelly J, let's put this episode in the books.
Y'all, that was a good rookie show. You understand? So as you know, this is a time where we got to give our shout outs. And Faheem, as we're recording, I'm looking behind my computer and I'm seeing the NBA finals. That's right, guys. I can multitask. I can watch basketball and record and speak to my brother Faheem of the Good Rookie Show. And so my shout out's pretty simple. Looking at this game, looking at what Denver is doing to Miami. My shout out is Jamal Murray, man. Having a phenomenal game. A lot of people thought he might be rusty, he might be slow, the pressure might be too much for him. This is the same guy for him. We saw beat Clippers. The Clippers haven't been that healthy for him since 2020, and he with Jokic, without MPJ, came back and won that series being down 3-1. That's not someone for him that I think or I believe is afraid of the stage. And so I just want to give him a huge shout out, big up to Kitchener. They're also doing Faheem watch parties in Kitchener all across the city in support of Jamal Murray. And Faheem, you know this is a hockey town. Canada is a hockey country, but Kitchener was featuring basketball for their hometown heroes. So big up to Jamal Murray on what he's doing for Canadian basketball, as well as for his team Denver Nuggets, Faheem. So I'm going to pass it back to you, brother. Who you got for your shout out?
Nice. I'm going to start with, since you mentioned about the game real quick, I do want to say I actually end up for the first time. Stephen A has what's called Stephen A's World on ESPN, where it's like a live stream. It's on YouTube TV. So I'll give them a little plug because of the fact I was actually pretty impressed. It's Stephen A in, I guess, in a studio, this kind of casual there with, he had Peyton Manning on there. He had guests on. He had comedians. So it's Stephen A, a split screen, and then the game. So you're watching the game with Stephen A's commentary. And actually the concept of it, I thought was pretty good. And I remember before we're going to record, thinking to myself, you know what? I think I would actually watch another finals game with Stephen A and friends with that. So as much as I don't think he's going to be anywhere near the greatest television talent, I do think that, he's doing good things though. So
no, for sure. And I don't think for him, I don't think he re-signed his contract with ESPN, right? That hasn't been re-signed yet. So technically his ESPN contract will be coming to a close. They haven't agreed to anything. So he might be leaving them.
Okay. Well, I mean, all I say is...
But let's see what he does. But I remember last summer, that was a big talk where he signed with them. So let me see. Stephen A. Smith, his contract, I'm not sure what he's going to sign yet, right? Because remember, he signed the contract for $12 million per year in 2021, and that I believe is going to be expiring. So, and I think he said he was the most highest paid. So yeah, we're going to see what he does. Yeah.
Since you mentioned expiring contract, also, shout out to Shannon Sharp. I heard that him undefeated with him and Skip Bayless. Yep. He's not renewing his contract. So Skip and Shannon, no more after the NBA Finals, apparently. So shout out to Shannon Sharp. See what he goes on in regards to media also, since we're on media.
I just confirmed Stephen A contract was signed in 2019, 5-year contract. So that's coming up next year. Right. 2024. So this is a time where we're going to see a lot of changes in TV and in sports broadcasting and media. So let's see how it goes. We'll be here, y'all. And second part of my shout out, since you mentioned Jamal Murray, I'm gonna go on the other side and say shout out to Kyle Lowry with the Miami Heat making the finals. I mean, it'd be kind of cool to have him win one as a Raptor, win one as a Heat also. I mean, it's not looking too great now, but it's a long series. Yes, it is.
So shout out to Kyle Lowry for at least being there and being a good role player. Not in a situation where he feels he needs to do more than he needs to do. So shout out to Kyle Lowry, aging in his career gracefully. That's it.
Yep, I agree. I totally agree. Yeah, it's something where I just think that it's just great. It's I'm saying, watching Kyle, watching Jamal, you really can't lose in Canada. You know what I'm saying? It's just great. You know what I'm saying? I think most people want to see good basketball. see good energy. You know, we're Raptor fans, so we're pretty much not invested as like a Denver Heat fan. But if you're a Denver Heat fan, remember, we know how it felt. You know, your first time ever in the finals, seeing your team make it. You know what I'm saying? We were favorited because remember, the Warriors were hurt, right? And we had to take advantage of the opportunity, right? So Denver is a similar suit, right? They were a top seed in the West, and now they're playing a team that's kind of depleted a little bit, right? Yeah. So they got to maximize that opportunity as well, like how Toronto had to as well, right? So I'm excited to see what happens if Denver makes history.
Nice. All right, Nelly J, great episode. Let's put this episode in the books.
Yes, y'all, that was the Good Rookie Show. If you had a good time and you enjoyed yourself, like, subscribe, and tell a friend to tell a friend. Faheem.
That's right. We're on all platforms if you're looking for us. You know what it is. It's a Good Rookie Show. And we out.